Now that we've gone over differences of squares, we can also use this special product called sums of cubes as well as differences of cubes. So it helps to know a few of your perfect cubes. So here's a list of them just up to 10. 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, all the way down 9 cubed is 729, 10 cubed is 1,000. Now here, a polynomial is a sum or difference of two cubes if there are two terms and both terms are perfect cubes. We have a difference of cubes if we're subtracting our two terms. We have a sum of cubes if we're adding them. If it's a difference of cubes, your very first term is going to be the cubed roots of your first number minus the cubed root of your second one. And then your second term, you're going to do a squared. So we took the cubed root of a cubed and got a. Then we're going to square that plus multiply a and b, and then plus b squared. If it's a sum of cubes, if we're adding our two perfect cubes together, our first term is going to be a plus b, keeping that sign. Our second term is going to be a squared. This time we're going to subtract ab, and then we'll add b squared again. So the difference between the two formulas, if we're starting off with subtraction, our first term is going to have subtraction, then addition and addition. If we're starting off with a sum of cubes with addition, our first term is going to be addition, then subtraction, then addition. So those first two signs are going to switch. The last sign will always be plus b squared. Here we've got x cubed plus 27. I'm just going to write out what a and b are. So a, whatever x cubed is, or whatever the cubed root of x cubed is, and then b is whatever the cubed root of 27, which is 3. Now I've got plus inside, so I'm doing a sum of cubes. So my first term is going to be the a plus the b. I know my a is x and my b is 3. Then my second term, I'm going to square a, so I have x squared, minus, multiply them together, which is just 3x, plus, and 3 squared, which is 9. Now this is as factored as it gets. We're not going to do anything with this trinomial. We're just going to leave it as these two terms. Let's look at some other ones. X cubed minus 64. This time we have subtraction inside, so we're going to use the difference of cubes. Our a term, the cubed root of x cubed, is x. Our b term, the cubed root of 64, is 4. So we're going to start with x minus 4. Then we've got x squared. This time we're adding 4x, and then 4 squared is 16. That's our final answer for number 6. In number 7, I need to take out the GCF first, because these two terms are not perfect cubes. So when I take out my GCF, I can take out a 2 and an x squared. So we've got 2x squared on the outside. Then when we divide, we're left with x cubed plus 8. Now what's inside the parentheses, those are perfect cubes. So I'm going to keep this 2x squared on the outside. I'm going to figure out my a and b based on those perfect cubes. A, the cubed root of x cubed, is x. B, the cubed root of 8, is 2. So now my factors, keeping the 2x squared. Then since this is a sum, we've got a sum of cubes. We're going to use the sum of cubes formula. So we have a plus b, x plus 2. And then a squared minus ab plus b squared, x squared minus 2x plus 4. And that is the factored form of that binomial. Last one. 8x to the 6 minus 27y to the 9. Now 8 and 27, those numbers are both perfect cubes. And then we have these exponents that are both divisible by 3, so they are also perfect cubes. This is where it gets really important to write out what your a and b are. So here, a, the cubed root of just this first term. Well, the cubed root of 8 is 2. The cubed root of x to the 6, how many times does 3 go into 6? It goes into it twice, so we have x squared. Then for b, the cubed root of 27 is 3. Then we need the cubed root of y to the 9th. 3 goes into 9 3 times, so we have y cubed. Those are our a and b. Now we're doing a difference of cubes. So our first term is going to be a minus b, which is 2x squared minus 3y cubed. Then we need to figure out what a squared and b squared are. So I need 2x squared squared. Remember, when we take a power to a power, we multiply those exponents. We also need to raise this 2 to the power of 2. So 2 squared is 4. And then x to the 2 times 2 is x to the 4. That's a squared. Then b squared is going to be 3y cubed squared. 3 squared is 9. Y cubed squared is y to the 6. So now we know a squared and b squared. So we need a squared plus ab plus b squared. We said a squared was 4x to the 4th plus, we just need to multiply a and b. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we can't combine the variables, so we're going to keep them as x squared and y cubed. And then plus our b squared, which we just said was 9y to the 6. And that is our final answer.